He does with these squirrels.
He wants to play pretty much. But
Yeah.
And you'll learn right away, like, don't play with that cat.
Yeah, well, once she puts him in his place, that'll balance everything out. But that's how you can tell she's feeling comfortable now. Because this isn't nothing about intelligence, this is instinct, right? If a dog or an animal looks dangerous or like they perceive threat, they're not gonna go out, or if they're not comfortable. So that's real good, okay?
Yeah.
Really good. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna start with the foundation of recall. We should be fine with this stretch here.
Okay.
I'm gonna explain this to you. It's a lot of information. This is like the most coordination heavy command there is. So you're gonna make mistakes, it's fine, but as you do it more, it's all gonna just kind of piece together and make sense, okay? So we're gonna have, the reason why we have 2 leashes is because at some point Mr. Shaky here might get savvy to the exercise and start prematurely running to you guys, okay? So let's say you're holding the leash, the short leash, Matt steps far away so you can practice to come when called. After we do a few reps, you might see him trying to follow Matt. This way we can keep him by you so that we can keep continuing to practice, okay? So what we're gonna do here is you're gonna go to the end of the long leash, and actually let me demonstrate for you. And go ahead and if you would please hold that short leash here. Okay, so like let's pretend I am 30 feet away, and thank you, there we go. What I would do is, you see how the leash is kind of slack here? Is I would pull, and then about right here, can you see that tension on his neck? Right there?
Yeah.
Okay, it's very subtle, and I want to time that tension with the remote. Okay, so you'd be at the end of the 30 feet, and you'd pull it through, and right when you get here, you'd put tension and start remoting. Okay, so it'd be like tap, tap, and we keep pulling until we see Gilmore move towards whoever it is that's going to be calling him. Now, we're not going to be using the word come right now. We're just going to be teaching him with the remote by itself what to do, because we're going to shape that behavior.
Yeah.
Once Gilmore starts moving towards you, you're going to be moving backwards. You're going to stop remoting, and you're going to reel in your leash at the same time. Okay? So you're just throw it on the ground like this as he's approaching you, just to shorten it. And then once he lands, like don't worry about all the way, you're just shortening it. Because in case, let's say here, Gilmore were to pass me, he's only going to pass me up about 10 to 15 feet, right? As opposed to if I keep it at the very end, he's going to get another 30 feet away. So what we're shortening as he comes to us to limit his range of motion, to make it easier in case he makes a mistake, okay? Now, should Gilmore deviate from his path, or like come to us and then go off to the side, like for instance to my right, I would turn to face Gilmore like this, move this way now, start tapping and pulling my leash until I see him move towards me. Then I stop tapping, I reel in the leash, he comes to me, we're all good, okay? Once Gilmore comes to us, I want him in my immediate space, okay? Anywhere within 2 to 3 feet of me. I don't care where, right, left, front, back, between your legs, just in that immediate space. So should Gilmore land like where those sticks are, a lot of people will go, good boy, right?
Don't reach out, you should be like,
turn, back away, remote, make him come to you, okay? Because this ends up growing into a bigger problem. This ends up becoming like a stop to a slow down, to a stop, to a go again, okay? So we want him to land within that immediate space, okay? So we get the tension, tapping, moving towards you, you stop tapping, reeling the leash. I find it easiest if you're, do you guys do right hand?
I'm lefty.
You're lefty, is that how you use the remote?
I use the right.
Use your right? Okay. So it would be easiest, so if I have the remote in my right hand, I'll use this or my thumb to press the button. And with my fingers here, I'm gonna just grab the leash as it lays over my left hand to feed it down to the ground, okay? Makes life a lot easier.
And I'd be opposite because I hold left hand, so I'd pull with, I'd have it on my right and just pull it.
Correct, yeah. So then he's moving towards you, I'm moving backwards as he's moving towards me, just reeling in that leash. And then, last step, once you've decided I'm not gonna reel it in anymore, you wanna get used to locking your leash. So we take our hand, flip it over that finger, and you're gonna close around it like this, okay? So again, wrap around that pointer finger and close. The reason for this is it locks the leash. So should Gilmore decide to book it for whatever reason, if you're holding it like this, you're gonna get 20 feet of leash feeding through your hand. It's gonna burn your hand, okay? You're not gonna be able to hold it. So you wanna turn it just over and lock it. Yeah, okay? And that, he might jerk your arm a bit, but it's not gonna feed through your finger. Some clients do this. I prefer to just have it nice and tight around that forefinger. Exactly, like that. And then let's say you're gonna reel it in some more, you would simply relax that lock, go back to this, and as soon as you're done, just get used to always doing this, okay? Because I've had 2 clients, unfortunately, not do that correctly, and then burn themselves in practice. Okay? So who's going to go first?
Go first? Yeah.
Okay, so then you'll hold the short leash. You're going to get the end of the long leash.
Someone's giving a slight tug, and then I'll pull it in until the level I want.
Yeah, so we're going to back away the 30 feet here. Okay, and then so right there you can see the dip right in the slack. Is go ahead and pull that slack up a bit. And right there, can you feel that tension? Okay. Now he started to move towards you. It's okay.
Am I following with him?
No, keep him by you for now.
Okay.
There we go. Good. And then, yeah, we'll pull out here. So you're kind of locking him in place so that Matt can actually get some tension on him.
Okay.
And as soon as you feel that in, I'm going to start saying tap for you. Once you hear me say tap, then you can go ahead and let that leash go, okay? What's your number set at?
I'm at 55.
55? Let's go down to 35. All right, and tension, and tap, 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 and back away. Tap, tap, move backwards, tap, 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 keep back, tap, keep back. Okay, now tap again. Wait a moment, and praise. Good boy. Tap for that sit, because you stood up. For the, because you stood up. And praise again. And break. Good, we're gonna repeat that 4 more times. Okay, so go ahead and bring them on over. Good. Just gonna put some tension when you're ready. Tap back, backwards. Good, now wait right there. Good, and praise. Good, break, 3 more. Yeah, keep walking. Yeah, watch his butt there. Get the leash one under his butt. Good. Tap. Tap. Some tension. Tap. Tap. And back. Good. Reel in your leash.
Yeah, reel in the leash.
There you go. That's good. Go ahead and take a step back. Tap. Wait. That's better. That's okay. We'll accept that for now. Praise. And tap for the stand. There you go. Praise again. Good. And break. Good. We're going to do 2 more. Yep, and back, reel in, good. Right, good. Tap. A little bit of leash pressure up and tap. And wait. This is a very messy command.
Is it?
Yeah.
I was like, is he the only everyone, or does everyone?
No, it happens all the time. Tap. Right, wait a moment. Wait a moment. Yep, up tap. There you go. Wait a moment. Relax. Up. Tap. Tap. Wait a moment. Yep, you got it. Tap. Tap. Wait. Go ahead and go to 25. There we go. Now relax. Now relax. Up. Yep. Tip. And go to 25. It's okay. Tap, 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 tap. Wait a moment. Tap. Wait a moment. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Now relax. Okay, now you're gonna put light pressure up. Very light. Tap. 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 Go to 30. Tap. 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 35. Tap. 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 Almost. Tap. Light pressure up. Tap. Now praise. There you go. Attaboy. Good. And break. One more. Right, good, and back. 1, 2, 3, that's good. That's a back tap. Better. Light pressure up. Light pressure, tap. Wait. Yeah, stay where you are and just light pressure up, tap. Light pressure, there you go. Tap, tap, tap. Bump it 5. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, 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 tap. Yeah, light. So we're gonna do you mind? I'm gonna scoot over,
Okay.
so we can go more lengthwise that way.
Okay.
Because I gotta coach him through this. Tap, tap, tap. So light pressure up, and you're gonna anchor yourself, okay? So don't move. Because what's happening is every time you move, you reset. So light pressure up, tap, 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 bump 5. And keep that, yeah, tap, keep where you are, tap, 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 tap. Wait a moment. Tap, 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 bump 5. Tap, 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 bump 5. Tap, 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 bump 5. Tap, tap, tap. There it is. Relax and praise. What'd you go to now?
I'm at 70.
Okay, so what happened is, because this is like what he was doing with place, is anxious energies overcompensate. You see how he kept shooting away, right? So we're doing 2 things here. One, he doesn't like the pressure. He wants to run from it. but that's exactly what we don't want. So this is actually good because it's teaching you, like, you never run away from remote. You have to comply to remote, okay? And we were at, you know, was it 35 earlier or something? And then we went down.
Like 25 earlier.
Yeah, and then we worked our way back and up. We're at 70 because something got his attention. But we're just doing that incremental increase until finally it kicks in. But what's important here is if you start to see Gilmore overshoot, is actually stay stationary.
Yeah, don't give up.
Don't move, yeah, because when you move, you reset the brain. So then you're starting over from scratch. If you just anchor yourself and you ride that out, you'll get to this faster, okay? Yeah. Because I know he really just kind of drives into it, is the closer you grab up to that collar, the more leverage you have, okay? So that's why I was like, shorten it. And then only light pressure up, because you want Gilmore to respond to the remote and give up what he's doing and just comply without very heavy work. The other thing is, if you're just holding up the entire time with a lot of strength, you're going to tire out, right? So it's just enough that he feels the pressure up, and I let the remote do the rest of the work for me. Okay. If he shoots, then I kick in with more pressure to counter him and keep him stationary. Yeah. And then once he relaxes, you have to relax back to see, like, are you going to lay down again, or are you going to put your butt down? So then you have to give him that option, okay? Yeah. Let's go ahead and do break.
Break, buddy.
Yep, and we're going to swap handlers here.
I'm a little nervous for that.
Just don't let your arm do the work. Don't worry about it. That's my only recommendation.
This right here.
Oh, bud.
Questions before you get started?
Just trying to remember everything.
So the most important thing is the backing and the tapping, okay? Reeling and leash if you can, but it's back and tap that's most important right now.
You take like 3 steps back after you apply
Correct.
the pressure or the tap.
3 steps back after I...
Yeah, so you tighten it up, apply the pressure, the tap, and then take 3 steps back.
Okay.
Whenever, yep.
Start backing up.
So now pressure, so you get that tension, right? Now tap, tap, tap. Now back, 1, 2, 3, that's good. There you go. Yep, tap, tap, now back, tap, tap, you got it, good job. Now wait right there. And then just wait, okay? Now here, grab your short leash, light, huh?
Short leash was much better. I wish I would have grabbed that earlier.
Yeah.
Light pressure and remote.
Light pressure up, tap, there you go, tap, tap, now wait, see what, there you go, now praise, attaboy, go boy, you got it, good, break.
Yeah, this is a messy exercise.
Yes, once you get used to it, you'll be fine. Yep. Pressure.
Back up.
Tap. Tap. Now back. 1, 2, 3. That's good. That's good. Now here, don't worry about your leash. Just tap. But keep the leash in your hand. There you go. That's fine. Tap. Wait a moment. Tap. Wait. Tap. Tap. Wait. Tap. Tap. Praise. Good. Good boy. See how it's getting a little bit easier? Let's do 3 more. Break. Right, good. Now reel in your leash. Good. Praise. Wait, tap, tap, tap. Good. Wait, wait. Praise. Good. Your face was
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
You actually did it.
Yeah. Break. Good. We're gonna do 2 more. Right. Good. Tap back. Tap back. Tap back. Remember, back. Tap. Tap. There you go. Wait right there. Praise. Up. Almost. Praise. Good. It's okay. He's just, his anxiety levels are up. Good. Break. 1 more. Good. Back, tap, tap, back. Good, right there. Wait. Wait a moment. Praise. Attaboy. Good boy. Very good. Break. Good. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a step out. Is instead of doing the tension with the tap, we're going to keep same handler. You're going to be at the end of your leash just before it gets tense, okay? And leave it as is. And you're going to start tapping, okay? And by the 3rd tap, if you don't see a response from Gilmore, then you're going to put in tension, keep tapping, and move backwards. Okay, so we're going to try to get them to respond to a remote without the leash tension. That's fine. And now tap, back, reel in your leash. Good. Back, tap, right. Wait a moment. Wait a moment. Praise. Attaboy. Good boy. That was really good. Yep, 4 more. Tap. Now back. And reel in your leash. And praise. Attaboy. Good boy. Good. 3 more. Much better. Right? Good job. Good job. Very good. Yes.
Don't jinx yourself.
Good job. Yep. Perfect.
I still need taps there.
It's okay. That's fine. You can praise. Good. One more.
Starting to participate.
Is he? Go ahead. Right. Good. And reel. Good. Attaboy. Good. Let's go into swap. And you're going to do the same thing, Matt. Same kind of sequence. Rather than say, do you need a remote? Now, real quick, we may see some confusion here because he was doing a bunch with you, right?
Yeah.
So if you see him go immediately to her, you can just tap and then assume that tension because he's gonna need to learn now to, go to the other person. Once you start using the word come, which we'll do after this,
yeah,
it'll make things easier. But we're probably gonna see that, okay?
Okay.
Oh, or not. Attaboy. Tap, 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 and back, tap, back, move back. Watch, back, tap, tap, tap. You got it. Good job, good job. Right, so then turn to face. Turn to face Gilmore. Yep, now backwards. Tap. Wait a moment. Praise. Attaboy. Good. Break, and 4 more.
What's happening over here?
You did a really good job with that, by the way. Most people stop and panic.
They do?
I'm going to explain that. That was really good.
It's like a videotape, just like you pull out.
Yeah.
Like all over. Oh yeah.
It's been so long since I've seen one. Right, let him settle. Attaboy, good boy. Excellent. Break, break. 3 more. Good. Excellent. 2 more. Break, 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 bud. Break, break.
You got them to do something when we go in there. It's by circling, right?
Yeah. When you went backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's normal. Right, good. Good. And last one.
We do one more.
Good. Very good. Fun break, and we'll stop here. We'll talk for a moment. All right. So, going back to that moment we got wrapped up, a lot of people freak out. Okay, they like panic or they stop.
Because they get freaked out, or because they get wrapped up? Okay.
So, a couple of things. One is we're building for realistic reliability, right? And in life, when you're going to absolutely need the recall to work, and recall is like the most important command, because that's the one that like, is chasing the squirrel right towards the street, right towards anything dangerous. That's, like I had a dog, I remember, over here by the lakefront, by the golf range, versus golf range. There's like a bridge and stuff, and then going over it is like Lakeshore. Yeah. The dog was running towards Lakeshore. And the owner, and the dog was going up the hill, going over the bridge, and he actually called his dog. The dog jumped off the bridge and returned to him. He got banged up a little bit, he jumped off 2 minutes. But yeah, almost went into Lakeshore. So, yeah, recall, very important, right? Is that in life, there might be other factors involved. You know, typically when people use the recall, the dog's chasing something, running towards something they shouldn't, or running towards something dangerous. You know, like a dog fight, a dog farm, what's going on, type of deal. Yeah. And so there's going to be other factors involved. So that tangle, like entanglement or whatever, is a distraction, right? And he's like, yo, what's going on? What's this? And you're like, get over here. Okay. So most people tend to freak out and say, feel bad for the dog. Like, oh, and I'm like, no. Work through it. So there's actually 2 things here. One, the dog panics, but then 2, the owner panics. Yeah. So I had a client where we were working right here, and an off-leash dog ran up. Her dog was friendly, and an off-leash dog was friendly as well. And she like ran through, and her dog went to play with the other dog, and she was like freaking out. She's like, I don't know what to do. So now I'm like, back, tap, tap, right? Finally, the dog comes back, and she's like, oh my god. She's like, that was like so stressful. I'm like, welcome to life. I'm like, when you're gonna need that recall to absolutely work, it's gonna be something like this, but more crazy, right? That was just an off-leash dog coming to play. Yeah. You know, it's gonna be something greater.
You have like a regular recall and like an emergency recall. So Maddie was talking about like some kind of
mercy downs, mercy sits. Yeah. So where mercy downs come into play is like I had a client in Winnetka, and his dog and his neighbor's dog used to play with each other, and they lived across the street from each other, so they would zoom across the both roads. Oh. And yes, and he told me, literally, he opened the door and he said, can you teach my dog to down no matter what? He's like, I don't care if he's playing, chasing something, whatever. I said, yeah. He's like, you're hired. That's all. He was like, if you can teach that, then I'm not worried about anything else. Because of that. Exactly. Running across the street. So if his dog goes across the street, he's like, I can't do a recall. I need him down, right? So then I was like, yeah, so from day one we started working that down, so then he had that. His dog could be doing anything at any time, just says down dog blocks. So that's the realistic application for that, is if the dog were to be across the street, you no longer have recall as an option, you need stationary work. But technically you can also do it if the dog's in pursuit of something. So like Maddie actually needed that for Rudder once with this chasing the squirrel.
It's like the squirrel story.
Yeah, so technically her recall was a thing she could have done, but she opted for the down, which isn't wrong. It stops whatever's going on. Okay. So here, technically, the recall is your emergency command. You know, I've had dogs take off because of fireworks, chasing off after something. Had a dog come across a coyote here in the park, and it wasn't so much an emergency, like the dog wasn't chasing it, but the owner was like, man, if I didn't have the recall that we created through remote, I don't know what would happen. And just what other crazy stories have been over the years. So super important. So that moment, you know, for the owner, I understand why they get stressed and panic and stuff, but I make them as much as possible work through it, because in life, like I had a client here, again, throwing ball with her dog, and her dog's like a nervous reactive case. And some girls were walking by, and she had thrown the ball, and he went for the ball, and when he looked up, he saw the girls, so then he went chasing after them. So it's like it's a nervous, like it just triggered suspicion, and then she had to just jack it up and like go to 100, and then she and ran straight back to her, and then she was like, you know, I was like, she's done really good work, so she jumped straight to the remote. Other people tend to panic and chase the dog. Yeah. They go, no, you get the remote now. Yeah. Right, as long as you've done the work. I had another client, we didn't even do recall, we had only done wheel, and we're going to do recall the third class. But before we got to the third class, her dog took off on her at the park. So she had to 127 continuously dog because she was going to run into the street. And she's like, hey Jesse, she's like, I don't know if I screwed things up, but this is what happened. I'm like, well, it was either you gamble your dog going into the street and getting hit by a car, or you gamble them possibly returning. And yeah, you know, you did what you have to do. That was not incorrect. Even once the dog is trained, you may find yourself in a situation where it's 127 continuous to get the dog to stop because they're panicked or they're in flight mode or something like that. But that gets you, little moments like that get you over just be like, what do I do here? Yeah. Is right now you have the leash and you're going, hey bud, I know you're concerned about that leash, but get your ass over here. That's more important than the leash. And then it happened again with the stick, right? You were just right there, and I said, move back, make him return all the way. And he did, so that was all good. So I will say, bear in mind, I had one person, before they became a client, had their dog in a long leash that was playing with other dogs. And the leash got wrapped several times around the hind leg, and he broke the leg. Okay, so do be mindful. But he was playing with a bunch of dogs. Okay, so there was a lot going on. Obviously, use your better judgment. If it's just like I was watching his leg and it looked wrapped for a second, and then it like pulled through and straightened out, and then all right, keep it going. So I'm just watching for that. Yeah. Otherwise, if he's freaking out, spazzing out stuff, as best we can, make him return using that leash tension and that pressure, because you're building reliability. So in case we get a similar instance when he's panicking or something, you have to jack it up and remote him to completely off leash and work it out. Okay. Questions about any of this? So what we're going to do here is same exercise, but now we're going to go and start issuing Gilmore come. Okay. So I typically go name first, then come, so it'll be Gilmore come. Then that tapping happens, and then that leash pressure will kick in if needed. Okay. So we're slowly weaning them off with the leash pressure and doing it more so on the tap. Okay. Questions?
If he starts coming, just like saying Gilmore come, do I still tap?
Still tap. Still tap at least once. Okay. So what can happen is if you call Gilmore, right, and he returns or is returning, and you tap him after he turns, what do you think would happen?
He would that's an association.
Yeah, he might think I did something wrong, so it might deflect him. Okay, so we do this intentionally at this stage where I go every time I call him, I'm going to remote him. Because at some point we want to force a delayed tap where it's like, oh crap. And he's like, well, wrong thing. Starts to run away.
Well, it's probably proactively telling him, like, I need to get my ass over there too.
Correct. If anything, Gilmore should run faster. Okay.
And he'll take every inch.
Exactly.
So
he's a very, prey-driven, drivey dog. So, and his speed was kind of slow in a few of them. I was ignoring that for now because we're just teaching it. As you practice more, you should start getting quicker returns. Okay. If not, we'll then focus on making it speedier. Okay. For now, what we saw today was good. Which is worried about teaching Gilmore. When you feel this, it means to come back.
Okay.
Okay? Questions? Oh, you had to hold the leash. Yeah, because he's going to call him now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
I think that he accidentally, proactively.
That's all right. It happens all the time.
So no pressure though.
Correct. So you're going to do what you did before, but with Gilmore come first, then the tapping, then the leash if needed.
Gilmore come.
And back. 1, 2, that's good. And break.
Gilmore, come.
And back, good. 1, 2, 3, that's good. Praise, attaboy. Right, good. Back. 1, 2, 3, good. Right, good job. Very good. Break. Watch. Careful. Oh, you got it. Good, you got it. There you go. Good job. Good improvisation there. Good. One more, then we'll swap. Tap, back, good. Back, 1, 2, that's good. And praise, attaboy. Good, it's going to swap. Tap, tap, tap. Now back. 1, 2, 3. That's good. Wait a moment. Tap, tap. Right. Good. Wait a moment. Tap. Wait. Tap. Tap, tap, tap. And praise. Good job. He's catching on. That's why we do the 2 leashes. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more, then I'll give you your homework.
Okay. Great.
Break.
I thought he was just getting confused because Matt was.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusion, but a little bit of like, I know I'm gonna go back this way, and it's gonna create a pattern. So he's trying to beat the pattern.
Can't beat the remote, Gilmore.
He was responding really well though with those corrections.
Gilmore, come.
Right, good, good. Very good. And one more. Excellent, and praise. Attaboy. It's wagging his tail. Let's go ahead and bring him over. Starting to click now.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we cut that one short to 3 so I can give you guys your homework. All right, so the way that we're practicing here, not realistic. But you know,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
But we got to set the foundation.
Yeah.
So 2 ways you can practice this. One, it's got good prey drive. You know, along diversity where the golf course is.
Yeah.
There's, careful, cicada. Tons of butterflies. Yeah. Tons of squirrels over there. Okay. And I used to go there with clients all the time. Use that to our advantage to dog at prey drive. What I would do is hold on to the end of the leash, put that loop over my thumb, lock it, do a warm break, right? And like even like instigate, like all those squirrels and stuff, let them have at it. And I just like sneak away, and I might let them be barking at that tree or whatever for like 3 minutes or so, and then 3 minutes in, they'll walk up.
The lake tomorrow will probably be really good. You see, like, he just gets so distracted with the water.
Just let him, you know, and then like the longer you let him get engaged, the more disconnected he gets from you. Is what I tell people. I tell everybody, it's like kids playing video games. You know, you're like, hey, wash the dishes. Okay, mom. And 30 minutes later, wash the dishes. Why did you tell me to wash the dishes?
Yeah.
Right, because they're so in tune to the game. Same thing for dogs. That prey drive, you know, I like his drive because he gives us something to work with and use to our advantage. Okay. So then what we'll do is you can use it whether he's on the pursuit to the squirrel. Squirrel, just when he gets there, or when he's been there for a while, barking and stuff. Okay. So, doing it at different points, we do want to be mindful that we don't drill it out 1,000 times because he will get nervous and not want to leave your side. So, if you're doing this solo, I suggest maybe go there for 20 minutes and at the very end, do 1 and then you heal more. Or you know, the next day do 3, the next day 1, the next day 5, the next day 2. You just randomize it how many you do, and you don't catch up to a pattern. Okay. If you're working together, you can repeat this as much as you want because you can force the disconnect. Okay? So if you go somewhere and you're like, oh, there's no distraction here, no big deal, you can use each other. You can also make this more realistic. So like this was all good. So the next thing I would do, like let's say you're holding on to the end of the long leash, that would take the short leash. You wouldn't say heel, but you'd start walking with heel motion. So it's that away motion, and then you call it. Okay? And you would keep walking. And you'd be tapping, and ideally you want them to respond to the tap, but at some point tension will kick in, but you're creating or recreating that recall during a movement away from you.
This is very focused on something else. So
Exactly.
Break that.
Exactly. So we're trying to make this as applicable as possible. If he's doing really well with the walkaways, then I start to do running. Okay, I'll call him while he's running away with the other handler. Okay, but you wouldn't say heel in this instance. You just want to keep him loose. Walk away, right or left doesn't matter. But for the handler that's walking with Gilmore, you want to keep that movement because if you stand, he's going to probably think, you know, to stick to you. So you keep that movement so you remove yourself from the picture so that we can actually get that recall. Okay. Other than that, recall does tend to take the longest to teach because it requires you to go somewhere with space and distraction to work with. Okay. So. And you know, if there's like maybe along the walk, like an open area that you can now make maybe a part of that.
We got
routine.
a park in the backyard now, pretty much.
There you go.
A lot of space,
Yeah, so just heel, go for a bit, stop, switch your leashes out, break, you know, do that for a few minutes or whatever, heel back home, so that you have more instances of practicing it. Okay? Questions?
Is there any like benefit to doing like the long leash at home too? Like
Yes, use a long leash now. Because so there's phases here. There's short leash to long leash dragging to no leash enclosed area to no leash unenclosed area.
Got it.
Now that's what I give people. A lot of people do skip stages, right? But I go, this is the process. Some people are like, I want to do every step, and others are like, oh, but my dog's great, you know, I use it all the time. Then I go, okay. It really comes down to confidence, you know. But definitely, anytime you're going to call them, you want to have that leash. You don't want to give the recall if you cannot make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, that makes sense, the progression.
Okay.
Yeah.
The next class is going to be another recall class. There's another half to this.
Okay.
But definitely, you know, start practicing this. Again, it takes people the longest to get fully reliable. We want to make sure we use that remote every single time we call them. We want to force the confusion. If you ever see confusion, make it work through it. Use that leash to your advantage. That's why we want to do this stuff now. There's a lot of kinks that can happen. So we want to do it while we have the leash because we still have guidance here. Okay? Eventually you've done it so much that either you're really programmed on how to use that tool, we've been programmed on how to respond.
Okay.
I guess there's one question. What's the biggest pitfall? Like, what's the biggest mistake people make with this?
They don't tap every time they hold it. dog.
Don't tap. Okay. It's always tap.
Because they're like, the dog came. I'm like, yeah, but you're trying to force confusion. Okay? Because what happens when I call them and I tap them too late and then deflect them and I've not done it on the short leash, I mean on the long leash. Okay? That's the main thing is people, they remove the e-collar too quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, and I cement it in the brain. Every time I call you, this is going to happen. You better
Like
respond.
he was going a lot faster towards the end. Like he was ready to get there.
Yeah,
Still a little
because-
confused, but
Yeah, because like he wasn't. Now he was getting the process.
he had some giddy up there.
Yeah, and we'll tweak things as we go along, but that looked pretty good.
Okay.
Okay. Anything
Yeah.
else?
Sounds great. I have to work on this.
All right. I think I got my next client here already.
Oh, okay.
So thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.
Next week.
Okay.